Yells.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Microsoft. I mean, Xbox fanboys, Xbox One guys, just give up, y'all. Just give up. It's cause it's getting embarrassing. It's honestly getting embarrassing. Y'all need to, jump onto the PS4 hype, and y'all need to stop supporting, stop defending, stop damage controlling Microsoft. You really have to stop, because it's getting embarrassing. It's getting embarrassing. Now, before I get into the main thing, I want to remind y'all of something. A few months back or so, when the whole DRM stuff was going down, and they announced DRM and blocked use games and online checks every 24 hours and Connect and all that nonsense was going on before they did all the 180s. When Adam Orff, that guy on Twitter, that guy who basically represented Microsoft and works for Microsoft, when he came out and he basically said to all the gamers, deal with it. Y'all remember that, right? I'm sure y'all remember that. He said deal with it, right? Okay. So after he said that, that topic was questioned to one of the executives at Microsoft, Xbox, whatever. And you know what this guy from Microsoft said? He just said he doesn't know him. He said he doesn't know who Adam Orff is. He doesn't even know if he works for Microsoft. He doesn't know any of that nonsense. That's what this guy from Microsoft said. He said that he doesn't know this Adam Orff guy that supposedly works for Microsoft. He doesn't know this guy, Adam Orff. He just doesn't know him. That's what this guy from Microsoft said. You know what I'm saying? Now keep that in mind. So basically, it's been a bad weekend for the Xbox fanboys, because there were talk and rumours and articles about how the PS4 is 30% more powerful than the Xbox 180, and one guy from Microsoft basically he just came out and he said what do you call it? He said that there's no way that the Xbox One is giving away 30% of power to the PS4, and he talked about all of his PR bullshit and all that nonsense. Following on from that, Major Nelson, or that guy all the Xbox fanboys look up to on Twitter, he basically comes out and says the truth will be told in time. He goes, time will tell. Time will tell, the truth will be told, and all that nonsense, all that PR bullshit. So obviously, if somebody says that, you think, this 30% supposedly more powerful PS4, it might not be true. It might not be 30%. So, what happens after that? Well, it just gets worse, doesn't it? A former developer, whatever he is, worked for... Let me just check this real quick so I don't get anything wrong. Give me 1 second. Yeah. This guy from the developer called People Can Fly. Now, he worked on games like Painkiller. I haven't really played that, so I'm not too sure. He worked on Bulletstorm, which came out a few years ago, which was a brilliant game. And he worked on Gears of War Judgment, which is a huge game. We all know that. So he's worked on some big games. And he basically came out on Twitter and he goes, everyone that he knows within the industry basically says to him that there's a 50% difference, a 50% speed difference between these two next gen consoles. He didn't say which one. But he just said, he said that he's being told by all the developers and stuff that there's a 50% difference. So someone asked him, replied to him on Twitter or whatever, just asked him, how is it possible, this and that. And this developer or former developer from People Can Fly, he said it straight out on Twitter. It's a PS4 that's more powerful. He actually said it himself. He actually said himself that the PS4 is 50% more powerful than the Xbox One. Now this, like I said, this is a dev that worked on some big games. Hell, this guy worked on Gears of War Judgment, which is like he is one of the biggest Xbox exclusives out there. So he worked for an Xbox exclusive on such a huge game, and he said it clear as day that 50% the PS4 is more powerful in speed or whatever. And like I said, this is from a developer. This is from a well-known developer that worked on 2 great games, you know, Gears of War and Bulletstorm and Painkiller or whatever. You know, this ain't coming from no PR nonsense Microsoft executive or Sony guy or any. This is coming from a developer that worked on Gears of War Judgment. Yeah. Now, after all that went on, people started going crazy and stuff started blowing up. And he basically wrote an article about how he was basically damage controlling and trying to basically even up the playing field again. But I mean, he said it, and he still doesn't deny that what he said was fake. I mean, he was just trying to like rationalize it or whatever. And things get worse from there. Things get worse from there. So you remember the guy who was talking about not at the beginning. What's his name again? The guy that said that the Xbox ain't gonna give away 30% of power. Y'all remember that guy who I was just talking about? When he gets asked a question about this developer saying that there's 50% difference, you know what this guy said? This Microsoft executive said? He simply said, "Don't know him." That's what he said. When the guy was asked about the supposedly 50% speed difference, when this Microsoft executive was asked about this developer's comments of this 50% speed difference, this Microsoft executive simply said he doesn't know him. He doesn't know these developers that worked on Gears of War Judgment or Bulletstorm that was on the 360. You know, well, Bulletstorm was a multiplayer, but you know what I'm saying? He doesn't know. I mean, now I don't expect him to know every single developer that works in every single game, but this guy worked for a company that made one of the biggest exclusives, and the least you know is the developers. You don't need to know the exact name and the guy in person, but this just shows. I mean, the guy just brushes the guy off. This Microsoft executive just brushes this guy's claims off by saying he doesn't know him. You know, that's a sign of arrogance, ignorance, and it's just shameful. It's getting embarrassing. Now, this brings me to the point. Remember when that Adam Wolf guy was saying, deal with it? And then one of the Microsoft executives came out and said he doesn't know him? Guess what happens again? A Microsoft executive comes out and says he doesn't know him. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a trend right there. When you get exposed and the DRM and all that nonsense gets exposed, Microsoft employees come out and say they don't know him. And another developer comes up, says 50% speed difference. And what does the Microsoft official say? He doesn't know him. That's what he says. I mean, these guys are just damage controlling. They are just exposing themselves left, right, and center. It's crazy, y'all. Y'all need to stop supporting this company. I know there's people out there that say they're going to buy an Xbox One and a PS4 and all that nonsense, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. The money that you spend on an Xbox One, you can get almost 10 PS4 titles with that. And that's big titles I'm talking about, not indie games. I'm talking about full retail games. You know, am I buying an Xbox One 180? Hell no. Absolutely not. There's only one thing that will make me buy an Xbox 180. Just one thing. And that is if Uncharted becomes an Xbox exclusive, if The Last of Us becomes an Xbox exclusive, if Metal Gear Solid becomes an Xbox exclusive. You know, other than that, I mean, I ain't gonna buy this console just for the Rise Son of Rome or, you know, Forza more. Come on, y'all. Come on. And, you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And then, like, more news was coming out about how, you know, Xbox fanboys is damage controlling. You know, when they basically had this Twitter poll on GameSpot or GameStop, I forgot what it is, where you can vote for PS4 or the Xbox One. And the PS4 was destroying it by like 90%, like 90% was all PS4. Now, an Xbox fanboy, do you know what he did? He made Twitter bots just to tweet out and support the Xbox One and vote for the Xbox One. That is how desperate Microsoft fanboys are getting now. It's getting embarrassing. It's getting embarrassing. And they need to stop supporting this company. They really do. Because at the end of the day, you might be a fan of Halo and you might be a fan of Gears, which is cool. They're good games. I've got nothing against them. But what else is there after that? Seriously, what else is there after that? You know, I mean, is it worth spending so much money on like 2 franchises? I don't know. Whereas on the PS4, not only are we getting new franchises, we're getting some amazing old franchises as well. You know, we're going to get a new Uncharted, a new Infamous, a new Killzone, then we're getting new IP like Knack. I mean, on the PS3, we're getting Beyond Two Souls. I mean, we got Puppeteer. This is crazy. We keep getting games. And the list just keeps going on. And obviously, I don't have time to list up all the games, but it's a no-brainer, y'all. I'm telling y'all, don't waste your money on an Xbox One. Do not. Titanfall looks amazing. I'll be the first to admit that game is going to be amazing. But you know what? I'll be playing it day one on my PC. Even though I'm not a PC gamer, but that game looks freaking cool. I can't lie to y'all. I want to be playing it on my PC. But eventually, I might even just wait for it to drop on the PS4. Because it will come to the PS4. I mean, it will come out. It's EA. They did the same thing with Mass Effect. It's going to come out. But like I said, Microsoft just keep damage controlling. They keep defending this nonsense, and y'all need to stop defending these fools because they are just ripping you off. At the end of the day, you're defending a company that spat in your face. Just spat in your face with all the DRM, blocking used games and all that nonsense. And y'all are still supporting this company. It's mind-blowing. I don't know how people support Microsoft. Honestly, I don't. And you know, if Sony were the same thing, if Sony were to come out and say DRM and use games and you know, they don't do what the consumers want, I'll talk about them in the same way. Honestly, I'll talk about the PS4 in the same way. But you know what? They've done everything perfectly. Honestly, they've done everything perfectly. So there's not much bad I can say about the PS4. But the arrogance and the ignorance of Microsoft, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how people support this company. Absolutely don't know how they do it. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. I don't understand how people support this company. Yeah, like I said, cancel your Xbox One pre-order. Go and buy a PS4. Even though you can't get it day one now because it's all sold out. Probably go to the shop on the day of release and try your luck. But don't waste your money on Xbox One. Just don't. Just don't do it. Microsoft, it's clear the PS4 is 50% more powerful. And I know there's people going to say that multiplats are going to look the same. Fair enough, they might look the same. But at the end of the day, if anything, the PS4 versions are going to look better. And on top of that, the exclusives are going to absolutely destroy the exclusives on the Xbox One. Take my word for it. 50% more faster, 50% more powerful. It keeps getting worse on Microsoft. Honestly, it keeps getting worse. But anyway, that's from me. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe for more, because I'm going to have more, because the PlayStation press conference is tomorrow morning. Well, by the time you're watching this video, it might have been done by now, so I'm going to have a video on that. I'm going to watch it. Then obviously there's a few games coming out this week, so I'm going to put videos on that. I got more about Killzone. Tokyo Game Show is coming up. Eurogamer is coming up in a few weeks, where I'm going to go there and play the PS4. And I'll play the Xbox One, just to see what it's about. I'll have all these things, so definitely make sure y'all subscribe. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Like I said, Microsoft fanboys, just stop defending this company. Just stop, because it's done. Seriously, it's done. Just stop defending them. Head over and come back to PlayStation, because that's where the games are, man. But anyway, this has been way too long. I'm out of here. I'll have more for y'all. Peace.